Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life very much on your own terms. And, special shout out to the sponsor of this show. I'm sure you can see the title. This is something that is I've been seeing it kind of in the narrative cycle, family. And of course, I didn't want to give this particular topic attention so that we're not manifesting it in our realities. But sometimes we can't sweep everything under the rug. And I don't know if you saw the recent, there's this story that's been going viral, although it didn't even happen this year, where in Ireland, where I think there were like a dozen or something young children, young girls participating in some kind of gymnastics competition. Hey, Errol, in some kind of gymnastics competition, and all the little girls were given medals except for the black girl, and it is so. I almost felt it was staged, family, because it's just like, how could a teacher even do that? I don't know if you know the story I'm talking about. So I thought, because I felt like, and the way it went viral, and then Simone Biles talked about it, family, about how she was outraged. I thought she'd have gone out there or invited the girl and her family to come to the United States and go for a special gymnast program, but she was just speaking out against it. So I definitely felt it was a narrative that they were pushing to the forefront, and it wasn't really about us, the parents. Because, children are also reading this news. They're also, especially now because our children feel what we feel. And so there's a lot of anxiety among the adult population about the world ending, the world being uncertain, what's coming next, all these different things. And they feel that. They feel that energy, and they discuss a lot of the news stories that we discuss, they discuss. So the fact that a lot of melanated households were discussing this story across the world means that it was also trending among the children, family. And I really felt the way this story was angled was kind of to make our children even feel worse about themselves, because some who have never even seen racism were confronted by that. And, that's why the angle I'm going to give on this story is very different, family, about how over the last 10 years, according to research, there has been an epidemic of depression, mental health issues amongst not only just African children, African American children, melanated children, but across children and teenagers across the world. Now, there are deeper spiritual reasons for that. Because, as I told you, the narrative is dying. And the children who have been born are of higher consciousness, and they just can't hook onto any narrative, which makes them feel like they're floating, in thin air. But that's a whole other story. If you'd like me to cover that on the Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show, definitely leave me a message. But family, before I even get into that, a special shout out to the sponsor of this show. And this is so related. Special shout out to Empress Kali. I'm calling her Empress Kali. And she is a renowned scholar, mystic, and visionary. And she is the creator of the Tut language course, which brings a wealth of knowledge and a professional passion for empowering individuals to embrace them true selves. And so you may be asking, what is the Tut language? And basically, it's like a linguistic journey. And, I'll even say it in her own words, step into the enchanting world of Tut language, an invaluable part of Black American heritage, delve deep into the unique language where every word resonates with the rhythm of a resilient culture. And basically, the Tut language would be, the new language of our brothers and sisters in the divided states. And actually, the Tut language was inspired by the remarkable work of Gloria Melwain, a visionary who authored the world's first comprehensive book on Tut language in 1995. I know some of you guys are hearing about the Tut language for the first time, but to my African American brothers and sisters, you need to check the course out. I'm going to put all the links down below. I'm also going to put her YouTube channel and her Twitter handle. You need to check this out because, as I always say, language is what is creating reality. Here in Africa, when they want to know whether you're fully colonized or not, they'll ask you, what language do you dream in? What language are your thoughts in? And a lot of you guys have also contacted me about how do you even start to reclaim your culture. I know Swahili has gone wild, but this is really amazing. And even if not for yourselves, even for your teenage children and stuff. I guess I don't know. So, so Gloria created the Tut language in 1995, and her guide Tut language is highly regarded and has been acknowledged by prestigious institutions such as the Journal of American Dialect Society, Duke University, San Jose Mercury News, and basically it's an extraordinary linguistic treasure crafted by Black Americans 300 years ago, and it's been passed down through generations. So you see, you guys have your own language. And the reason I'm so excited that Kali actually sponsored this show is because, okay, I don't want to get too much into the statistics and the sad language of how, more and more of our youth are attempting suicide because they don't fit in, and they're just finding, they're entering into bouts of depression. A lot of it is because our children, you guys don't take your children out into nature. You're giving them one of these. You're putting them in front of all kinds of screens, when if you just let them play around and get dirty and, play with the mud and the soil and everything, it would really, really help them, especially with the new energy that is hitting the planet at this time, family. But the one thing I will say is that when you see a rise in mental illness, it's because there's now a mental instability where there's no narrative for our children to connect to or to anchor to. And, this is not just relevant to our black children living in the diaspora, but even African children, maybe even more, especially the African children who are being taken to international schools on the motherland. Those are the ones, family, who are a bit shaky. So make sure that you're connecting your children as much as possible to your own storyline, to your own language network. At least make sure they know their mother tongue. At least make sure, like here in Kenya, I don't know, let me know about where you're from if this is happening, but here in Kenya, there's been such an upsurge in coming of age ceremonies, which had been totally eradicated when we got colonized by the British. They demonized that whole process. But now there's been a resurgence, and it has happened because a lot of parents just found it so hard to manage their children when their children started to hit adolescence and stuff, because they're not going to accept the crap that you guys believe in. They're not. There's too much of an awakening happening amongst our people. And, shout out to a brother that I met in the village who's been watching me for like 5 years. He actually came to Kenya from China. He's a soul musician. I can't remember his name. I think his name is Terrence. Shout out Terrence. Because he was, we bumped into each other in the village, and he was talking about how he was talking to his children, and his children, they were on the screen and they were saying, "Oh my God, this European guy invented this, and this European guy invented that, and this American guy invented that." And then he simply went to his son and was like, "Yo, you should actually check what African inventors and African American inventors have made." And he kind of, helped him to start Googling that, a list of that. And he was like, his son's mind was blown away. And he was like, what? It was almost like he was having an out of body. He couldn't believe that his melanated ancestors had created literally everything from peanut butter to the light bulb to, the GPS system. He was blown away. And so there was a confidence boost in him that anchored him into his people. And there are different programs that we will be initiating, family. Definitely consider supporting us on our platform so that we can do that. But there are programs, and one of them is actually Tut language course. Look for those programs which help to anchor your children to their truth, to their character, because even the truth is under siege right now. And, because of all the information that is bombarding all of us, There is negative. I mean, your children can't avoid not seeing, especially if they're going to schools and stuff like that and are not being homeschooled. Like they can't avoid those interactions about racism. So be sure, family, that you're giving them a strong enough anchor in themselves by telling them about their people, about their story, from the perspective of your own people, by storytellers who look like you. And really start to pay attention to your children, family. Pay attention to the kind of narrative that they're giving you about their lives. Ask your children how their day was. Create a safe space. First of all, create a space, at least once a day, a couple times a week, whatever the schedule will be, where you sit with your children in a conversational environment where they can ask questions and they can share what is weighing heavily on that. It doesn't happen by saying, what happened? What is bothering you? What happened in your day? No, it's cultivating that relationship where you cultivate a conversational relationship and you actually know over and inner and understand the personality of your children so that you can see how the fall of Babylon is affecting them. Because, you can't shield them all the time, family. But trust me, prevention is better than cure. Special shout out to Kali, who is the sponsor of today's show. Definitely check out the Tut language, the African American language that has been around, family, for over 300 years. And now you can actually take a course on it. All the details are bound down below. And if you would like to advertise with the Dr. Mumbi Show, get in touch. Dr. Mumbi at drmumbishow.com. TUKO PAMOJA.
Are you ready for a mesmerizing linguistic journey? Step into the enchanting world of Tut language, an invaluable part of Black American heritage. Delve deep into this unique language where every word resonates with the rhythm of a resilient culture. Explore thoughtfully designed lessons that unravel the linguistic intricacies of Tut, from pronunciation variations to regional influences. Engage in interactive language games like word matching and pronunciation challenges that will deepen your understanding and sharpen your skills. Dive into live Tut bingo, historical and cultural role-play scenarios, and weekly open mic sessions featuring Tut music and poetry. Don't miss this incredible opportunity to celebrate culture and embrace language. Enroll now and start your Tut language adventure. Enroll now and receive 3 free Tut language books, thoughtfully created by Kali JNS. It's an invaluable addition to your learning experience.